This week, we're talking about PlayStation's new subscription service, a possible upgrade for Game Pass, and unfortunate news about E3. So let's just go ahead, together, as a people, and check it out! And welcome to another sensational Sunday. I'm Mike, and this week we're just going to hop right into it. We're going to break down Sony's announcement about PlayStation's new subscription services. Last week I covered the rumors about the subscription service and that we're going to announce it. Well, they did. I have feelings about it, so let's talk about it. I'm going to go over the tiers first. The official tiers that were released by Sony. We got the real details now. So the base tier, which is $9.99 a month or $60 a year, it's basically PlayStation Plus as it is now, where you get your monthly games, you get access to play games online. The next is going to be PlayStation Plus Extra. They're keeping the PlayStation Plus now, they're just adding stuff to it. So Extra is going to be $15 a month or $100 a year, and you get up to 400 PS4 and PS5 games. And then you're going to have your premium tier, which is going to be $17.99 a month or $120 a year. So you're going to get the 400 PS4 and PS5 games. Plus, this is where you have your library of retro games. You got PS1, PS2, PSP, and PS3 technically, but PS3 is going to be streaming only. And those are their tiers basically. They haven't outlined anything about how long it'll be before their new games come to this service, but they did say that they're not going to have day one releases like Game Pass, which is what we expected. They did give some examples about games that they're planning to have at launch. So right now they've listed Death Stranding, God of War, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Mortal Kombat 11, and Returnal. So that's basically what Sony's announced as far as the subscription service. It will be out sometime this year. I believe they're aiming for summer. They haven't given an exact date yet. But yeah, that was the announcement. That's what they're doing. That's their answer to Game Pass. And I have some feelings about it. I've been trying to not be too negative about it because they just made the announcement and I don't want to be like, oh, this service doesn't sound like it's worth it. But at the same time, when you make an announcement like this, you want to get people excited for it. And I understand the service is what it is. I talked about this before, about they're in a different position than Microsoft as far as why they wouldn't want to put their games up there on day one. But I did say last week that they should give us a time frame of when we can expect new games to be on the service, whether it's like 6 months or a year or something like that, to give people some reason to be like, you know what, this is a good value. I want to buy this. And then also they really didn't give us that many examples of what games are going to be up there. I mean, they gave some pretty strong games, but for me personally, I've already purchased most of these games. I think that they could have at least offered something a little bit newer, especially like on the PS5 side, to make it worth it. I have a PS5, and with the games they listed, I already have all these games. So if I was looking at like the extra tier, that's not worth it to me. Personally, I think with the announcement, they should have done more to get people excited about it. They could have just sacrificed Horizon. Like, that's a fairly new game. By the time this service drops, what is it going to be, like 6 months old at that point? Possibly. They could have been like, you know what, Horizon Forbidden West is going to be up there. At least it's something that people might not have yet. That'd be exciting. It's a newer game, but not like just released. I understand it's their newest game. For me personally, they failed to really generate any excitement around the service. Then there's the premium tier. I also forgot the premium tier is also getting the trials that we mentioned before. So they're going to have limited trials for certain games. I forgot to mention that because it's so stupid. I still think that they're going to do that. That should just be a part of every tier. Like, why would that be a part of the highest tier? I don't feel like trials are great. Personally, I never play a trial and being like, ooh, I'm glad I played this trial. Usually when I buy a game, I already know. I mean, if you're on the fence about it, I guess it's good. But it's not something that I would consider to be like top tier. Like, demos to me aren't like a top tier thing. Like, give that to every tier. I'm sorry. It's going to add up to 340 games from their previous library. And for me, the biggest disappointment was the fact that PS3 is streaming only. So PS1, PS2, PSP can either be streamed or downloaded, but PS3 is streaming only. And we know that the PS5, at least, is powerful enough to emulate PS3 games at this point. So the fact that they're not even willing to really do the work, at least on the PS5, to make these games downloadable, it really sucks. And 340 seems like a small number for all those consoles. It sounds like it's probably just going to be whatever's on PlayStation Now. It sounds like it's just PlayStation Now with these added games from PS4 and PS5. And I think still with both tiers, it really depends on what games they're going to have up there. Whether this is going to be worth it or not, whether this is going to be worth it to you, I don't know. I mean, at least it is cheaper than Game Pass. Their highest tier is $60 cheaper than Game Pass if we're looking at the year subscription. So they did make it cheaper, but like I said, them not committing to a timeline of when we might see new games up there, them really giving us scraps, in my opinion, as far as what games are going to be on the service. They could have at least given us like a list of 20 or 30 games. They didn't have to give us 400, but something to kind of get excited about. I just feel like the announcement itself wasn't that exciting. So I'm not going to say that I'm disappointed in the service because I don't know what games are going to be up there, but I am disappointed in the announcement. Like, I feel like it was just kind of like a dud. But that's just me personally. Let me know how you feel about it. I feel like they could have done better. But you know who is trying to do better? Their competition. I'm talking about Microsoft. I'm talking about the Xbox. I'm talking about Game Pass, because we got a new rumored feature coming to Game Pass, and it's long overdue, a feature that I desperately need in my household. That's right, it's rumored that Microsoft is finally going to do family sharing sometime this year for Game Pass, which would be awesome because right now there's 2 Game Pass Ultimate subscriptions going on in the house. Actually, I'm not sure if Jeff has Ultimate or if he just has PC, but still, we got 2 subscriptions, and it'd be nice to just pay a little bit extra and we can just share it. That'd be awesome. Now, there's no details of if this is going to be an Ultimate only feature, if this is going to be Xbox only, or if this is going to extend to PC as well. I'm hoping that it's both Xbox and PC. Xbox, it doesn't really matter as much because as long as that person's profile is in the same system, they get access to those games anyway. So I'm really hoping that this is more of like a PC feature where it makes the most sense, because if you have more than one computer in the house like we do, and both of them are gaming PCs, I mean, at this point we have 3 gaming PCs, including the GPD win, I really like to be able to just share Game Pass and not have to log my account into a different computer and have to share progress and all that stuff. So it'd be nice if this does extend the PC, but we'll have to see. There's really not many details with this rumor other than the fact that they're going to release it sometime this year. That's pretty much it. We really don't know anything else. But it's something that I'm excited for. But I could see them releasing this around the same time as Sony releases their new PlayStation Plus tiers as a way to keep Game Pass in everybody's mind. So it'll be interesting. I really hope this feature comes soon. In our final story, we got some bad news about E3 2022, and it is canceled, y'all. Like, straight up canceled. There's not going to be a digital or physical event this year. Apparently, there's nothing going on as far as an official E3 show. They are planning on trying to make a comeback next year, but for now, E3 2022 is RIP'd. It really sucks. E3 is one of those things where over time it did make less sense, especially when developers and like the console makers started doing their own shows and they would just announce stuff all year around. But it was still that place where you would get these big, exciting announcements. It was pretty much like Christmas for gaming, especially for me in like my teenage years. It was always super exciting when E3 would roll around because you never knew what you're going to get. And you always get these big game announcements or console announcements. So with E3 being missing, it just feels weird, even though it's not the same as it used to be. But I really hope it comes back personally. I kind of miss just having all these big announcements at one place. It was kind of cool, to be honest. So E3 will be missed. Hopefully they'll be back next year. But I know when I'll be back, and that's on Wednesday, because I got another super cool unboxing. We're going to be looking at a super budget monitor. But until then, let me know in the comments what you think about the PlayStation announcement, what you think about the Game Pass family sharing, what you think about E3 being canceled. I am going to go ahead and go and watch WrestleMania and be miserable for 2 days because I'm probably going to be bored. But if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to tell a friend, tell a coworker, like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell notification to be notified when I drop a video. And I always do at least 2 things at the same time.